This boy hadn't eaten in 10 years. He'd been sealed in an underground hole for 90 years, with shackles clamped to one foot, surviving day after day on rats and worms. Then one day in 2022, another boy's glasses accidentally fell onto a sheet of iron. When he picked them up, he noticed the metal sheet was hollow underneath. Curious, he slowly lifted it, thinking it might be a cave full of treasure. But when sunlight flooded the opening, what he saw was a motionless foot. The boy, named Mihir, was terrified and ran off. But after he calmed down, curiosity drove him back to investigate. At the entrance, he took a deep breath, lifted the sheet, and tossed in a stone. No response. He picked up another stone and was about to drop it in, but the foot was gone. Even more puzzled, he leaned down and stuck his head inside. At the sight before him, Mihir was so scared he nearly wet himself. He scrambled onto his little bike and pedaled furiously away. Overcome with panic and exhaustion, he wiped out hard, blacked out, and remembered nothing more. When he woke again, it was high noon. Back home, he couldn't sleep because of what he'd seen during the day. Was that person in the hole human or ghost? So he wandered back there in a daze. This time, Mihir called out into the hole.
Ma che sei vivo?
A faint voice came back from inside.
Aspetta.
Mihir understood right away. He found some water nearby, bought a loaf of bread from the store, and returned to the cave. But then a car pulled up in the distance. It was the village bullies. Mihir hid. He wondered why they were coming from that direction. Did the person in the hole have something to do with them? While the person inside was eating, Mihir asked him curiously.
Conosci a Felice? Il fratello del Tesco.
He didn't answer. Mihir kept nibbling his bread anyway. As soon as Mihir finished speaking, the person dropped the bread and shrank back into the darkness. Night was falling. Mihir had no choice but to head home. To avoid being discovered, he wanted the person to put the bread back in the basket, but still no response. Mihir had no other option. He steeled himself and climbed down. He quickly scooped up the bread and was about to climb back up when the person suddenly spoke. Mihir was startled. He was about to ask his name, but he didn't answer. He just said this. The raspy, feeble voice made Mihir uneasy. The person stood up and walked toward him. To Mihir's surprise, it was a child, a tiny, emaciated body covered in scars, eyes tightly shut, a shackle fixed to one foot. He felt his way toward Mihir and took his hand. Mihir thought he was already dead and suddenly broke down. He kept repeating the same words over and over. Mihir scrambled frantically out of the hole. He didn't dare tell anyone about what he'd seen. That night, a group of men gathered at Mihir's house, sitting around a table, seemingly arguing about something. They appeared to be discussing the boy in the hole. Then a photo appeared on the TV. It was him, no doubt. Next, a woman's face came on the screen. From her statement, it sounded like a kidnapping case. Mihir had a vague idea of what was going on, but he couldn't understand why they would kidnap him and lock him away.